I just need like rejuvenation. So, I've come to my favorite place to be that is sort of close to home.
I only dream dreams to escape the truth. I never thought they would ever come true. And all of the pain I'm living in's got me chained. I'm trying
I've been
to break through.
Doing a lot of shifting in my mindset recently. What happens is, like, you know, when you raise your vibrations, you get this like shedding of all the old stuff. And that's where I feel like I'm at right now. I feel like I am shedding weight, heavy ass weight. I do want to say thank you to everybody who heard my Making of a Queen song and liked it and commented and let me know what you thought about it. The sun is glistening behind me. I wanted to talk about like my decision that I've made recently that I haven't shared to be single. So I jokingly say I'm off the D, which I think is hilarious, and so does everybody else. But it's not just like the obvious D, the distracting, the drama, the dating. It's like everything starts with a D. And it's interesting because I've been single before, right? So my last relationship, putting out that song, Making of a Queen, was very cathartic for me because it's me starting to express the fact that, you know, I've really been through a lot in these last 5 years and I haven't talked about it with you guys. I haven't expressed about it, and I think I wasn't ready to express about it. It was a really, really toxic relationship, but also beautiful for me at the same time because it's really showing me, like, it's forcing me to level up. You know, it's forcing me to shift my mindset around things. It's forcing me to really become the woman that I think I've always wanted to be, but never really knew was in me. Like I didn't really have a reference for what it meant to be like this sacred feminine person, or sacred female, or sacred woman, or divine feminine. I just like, and bringing the divine feminine into who I am as a woman, like that never really, I never had a model for that. So, you know, I've been single before. I've gotten out of relationships and been like, yeah, I just need to take a break. But I think that being single and then being consciously single, like being single just because you just think you need a break, you know, I feel like so many people say that, like, oh, you just need to be single for a little while. But like very seldom do people actually, or have I seen people actually take the time to be like consciously single and really consciously marrying yourself. And so I'm now to the point, I gave myself 4 months, I have like 3 weeks left or something, and I'm not really worried about that. I might continue to just stay single just because I'm really, really, really developing a relationship with myself, which I had before, but it's so much deeper now. I'm really like, it's really an appreciation of myself as a woman, as an artist, as a being, as a soul, as a human, as myself. And coming into that and embodying that and integrating all parts of me into this really beautiful thing. And, you know, whenever I choose to get into another relationship, I for damn sure want to be whole and complete when I get there. I for damn sure do not want to be, you know, the issues that I had, the struggle that I had, the toxicity that came out in my past relationship, my last relationship, the one that was, it really was the crowning of me. It was kind of what forced me to even find that crown within myself. And now I'm in this process of crowning myself, right? I'm in this process of the crowning of Darienne. Because it's funny, I talk so deeply about taking your throne, and that's a different process. That's like finding God, stepping into yourself. Crowning yourself, I feel, is bringing the throne, the internal throne, into the flesh, right? The scene is like really beautiful right now. The toxicity in my last relationship was a direct result of me still kind of being in the habit of the old dichotomy of what a relationship used to be for me, right? Like the roles we used to play, and just that very cookie cutter, like, you know, you're the man, I'm the woman, this is your job. It's your job to make me happy in this way, and it's my job to make you happy in this way. And, you know, I think there's this really, and maybe this is just my own interpretation of it, but it's felt very much like this, it's my man's job to make me feel like a queen, rather than I need to come as the queen. I need to come into this relationship with the throne already in me and the crown already on my head, and vice versa. And I'll never manifest a king if I don't become the queen now on my own, perfect, divine, whole and complete as I am on my own. And what that's been meaning for me is fulfilling myself in the ways that I needed my last partner to fulfill me. He really like highlighted all of the desperation in me, you know, like just being in his arms made me feel complete, which only reiterated the fact that I felt incomplete without that. You know, I think the reason I don't talk about this, and I didn't talk about this on Freedom Friday, and this is why this is kind of divine the way things are happening now, is because it's not my job to teach anybody who to be in their relationships or how they want to be. I just know for damn mother effing sure how I want to be in my relationships, and just sharing that and having this now be a platform for me to just share my journey, share my experience, you know, can be inspirational for people or not. You know, I don't feel like I'm barking down people's throats. That's not the right it's not the right phrase, is it? You get what I mean though. Really, I just want to be in the flow of who I am. And honestly, like dropping Freedom Friday, I notice myself sharing more on Facebook. I'm sharing more of my writing. I love to write. I'm sharing so much more of who I am. And just embodying myself rather than, you know, I really felt segregated on Freedom Friday, with Freedom Friday, because it was like, okay, here's human Darienne who like learns the lesson, goes through the thing, has to experience the pain, right? The pain has to come first. Doesn't always have to be painful, but like the majority of my lessons that I've learned have begun in pain, and that's only because the lesson that I needed to learn was, how am I believing and thinking about this that's causing me pain, right? That was the lesson I need to learn. So it doesn't always have to be painful, but it was like, here's Darienne behind the scenes, being Darienne, being a fucking human being. And then once I finally am able to raise my vibrations and consciousness around that subject, I can then share it with you in a cookie cutter way that's going to be generic and fit with everybody. And that was beautiful and divine when it was, but it's no longer. And it's just not, you know, I know that me being who I am is meant to help very specific people, very specific types of people, And I think like having to pigeonhole myself into, yes, I'm a leader for empaths, or, you know, yes, I'm a spiritual teacher, or yes, I am this, or yes, I am that. No, I'm just Darienne, and I just happen to be an empath and a sensitive soul, but I also happen to be an artist. I also happen to have been through a shitload of things in my life that I can teach from, I've grown from, and I can experience that. And there's many people that aren't empaths that are going through those things. There's many people that aren't empaths that are artists. There's many people that will relate to me on other levels, and I don't ever want to cut those people out because I'm fucking pigeonholing myself. I was never meant to be pigeonholed. I just never was. I never have been. I never will be. I was only ever meant to be the expression of myself, and through that, just inspire people. Like, and I love that. And I think that's magical. And I'm blessed to be able to do that. So, here I am, sharing my journey. I'm back on the D in 3 weeks. We'll see how that goes. Abraham Hicks is going to be, well, Esther Hicks is going to be in town. Abraham is sort of always in town, aren't they? They're sort of always around us. But Esther will be in town in Philadelphia 3 days after my decision to start dating. And I think so it's not that I'm obviously not just gonna, like, I don't know, start like calling up dudes and be like, hey, back on the D. That's not gonna happen. I don't have dudes lined up at all. But I think more what's going to happen for me is it's going to be this intentional process, right? Where September 12th hits, I will then start to think more about who I want to be in a relationship, and then who I want to manifest in a relationship. And I think I'll just I'll consciously allow that in, whereas right now I'm consciously closing that off. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not really here right now. So right now my attention is on tapping into my divine feminine, healing a lot of sexual energy within me, because I've had so many sexual traumas that, like, there's real healing that has to be done there. And also, like, I've been taking this money course, and I'm realizing for me personally that there's no difference between being the embodiment of the divine feminine and healing as a woman. There's no difference between that and sex, sacred sex, and sexual energy, and my sexuality and sexual desires. There's no difference between being a woman, that, and money, and how much my worthiness and how much money I allow in, because that also equals, like, power, which comes back to feminine power. And I'm just realizing that, like, me stepping into being a woman, me stepping into myself, my divine self, stepping into the crown, right, is the same. It's all the same energy vibration of unleashing my sexual desires and making this, like, sacred sex be a part of my life, this sacred sexuality being a part of my life, which it's not now. Like, obviously I'm not having sex, but it also has really never been for me. Like, sex has been weird and awkward. Sex has been objectified and I've been over-sexualized, but never has it been sacred. Never have I really made it the same as God, right? The expression of God, which, why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't sex be the expression of God? Sex is the beginning of humanity. Like, hello. And so when you think of it that way, you're like, well, duh, yeah. Why wouldn't I heal that? And then also money. It's like, we've made this, I'm just discovering that, like, money is the same as God as well, but we've separated all of those. Money is the same as God because we've kind of created this weird medium between us and us, right? So like us and our desire potential, which really is us as well. And we've created this medium called money. And the lack of it or whatever, it affects our ability to be able to do the thing we're meant to do as human beings, which is like create unlimited, being ourselves, expressing ourselves, being limitless. And it's almost like money is the permission that we've either given ourselves or taken away from ourselves to be able to be ourselves. Isn't that weird? So I'm just sort of like shifting all of this and looking at all of that and just kind of like, this is weird. And it's all about, I mean, I think the thing that goes back to everything that I've ever taught on Freedom Friday is it's all about the perception of it. It's not about stopping anything. It's not black and white. It's all about, here is a subject. Am I standing on this side of the spectrum or this side of the spectrum? And when I stand on this side of the spectrum, things look very fucking different. And I feel like I'm doing that on, oh my God, so many aspects. And that's why today I've just been like, today I cried, bawled my eyes out this morning, yesterday morning, bawled my eyes out. And just feeling like I'm coaching, you know, Katrina Ruth is coaching me right now. And she's really like, I'm just messaging her and, you know, she's coaching me a little bit, but it's more just like, I'm just kind of, she's acting like a soundboard for me. You know, I'm just like raising my vibrations. I'm practicing these new thought systems and expanding, and possibilities are opening up for me. And it's like a whole new phase where, you know, I've done this before, and that was a new phase, and that broke me into doing Freedom Friday and expressing that. And now I'm like breaking off into a new phase, and it's cool. It's awesome. Like, I kind of feel like, at the same time, I feel like I'm kind of on a roller coaster, but like in the best way possible, but also that I am a flower blossoming. Like, I just feel like the petals just kind of opening up, and I'm seeing things. I'm moving into a new level. It's cool. So, you know, I think it's so much more magical for me to share this for you guys and things like this with you guys than it is for me to do Freedom Friday at this point in my life. Well, Freedom Friday's gone, so. And it's funny too, I had a millionaire online entrepreneur ask me, like, I told her, you know, I deleted everything. She was like, wow, you deleted everything to try to get, like, she just couldn't, she's just like, I don't understand that. And I was like, yeah, that's because honestly, like, in my being, I mean, I don't really know her well enough to, like, we didn't really have a big discussion about it, and she obviously doesn't know my brand, doesn't understand, like, doesn't know me, hasn't known me to even, you know, really get it. But I'm just like, yeah, that's because in my being, I'm saying to this, yeah, that's because I create my own reality and I can do whatever the hell I want. That's like, that's really how I feel. Like, I you know, one of my affirmations I've been practicing is, I created this world, or I made this world, and I could just make a new one. And I'm creating a world that works for me, you know? Why wouldn't I? Like, why wouldn't I be able to just do whatever I wanted? That doesn't even make sense to me. Like, which is awesome, because there might have been a time where I was kind of like, oh yeah, I need to be this perfect spiritual, like this perfect online entrepreneur, and there's all these rules. And now I'm just like, I never fucking came here to be an online entrepreneur. I did the online thing because I was too scared to do the live thing, and now I'm like, okay, let's do the live thing. Like, you know, I want to travel the fucking world. I want to do shows. I am an entertainer, and I don't belong on this little box all the time. I do sometimes, but not all the time. Like, I've been on a stage my whole life. People don't even know that, you know? I've literally been on stages acting, dancing, and singing since I was like 3 or 4 years old. And so the stage is calling me. The stage is calling me. Yeah, and I've just like, I have so many fucking ideas. You guys have no idea the amount of ideas that I have that are just flowing to me, and they are fucking bombastic. They really are, and I'm so fucking excited about them. And not to say that all of them will actually come into fruition, but you know, I'm just going to focus on that and that desire and see if I can bring it to life, because that'll really be cool. You know, I've had some plans for the channel to really level up here. So don't you guys worry about what's going to happen with this channel, you know. I think most important thing for you to understand is, like, when Darienne gets to do whatever the fuck she wants, she is a better version of herself. I know I'm talking in the third person, but like, when I get to do what the fuck I want, when I unleash, break free, and follow my heart, which I've always done my whole fucking life. Like, there's never been a time where I didn't unleash, break free, and follow my fucking heart. Sometimes it took me a little longer to do it than it should have, but there has never in my whole life been a time where I didn't do that. So I am only the best expression of myself when I'm following my heart. Like, God comes through me in even more magical ways when I'm doing what I want to do and following my heart. Like, don't even worry about that. You know? All right, guys. Thanks for listening. It's kind of funny. I feel like you're like my therapist now. We switched roles, did we not? No, I definitely want to, I want to know, like, I want to know what you guys are going through. I want to know, like, if this is helping you. That's really what I want to know. Because I've been hearing, honestly, not for nothing, but I've been hearing what y'all been going through for years now. And I'm like, it's time for y'all to listen. It's my turn now. It's my turn to talk. I've been waiting 5 years to talk. It's my turn. I know I've been talking for 5 years, but you know what I mean. I've been helping you guys forever, and now it's time to help myself and just be the example, because that's really all I want to do. I just want to help myself right now be the best version of myself that I can be, and just show that process, so that knowing that that will be divine and that will find whoever it's meant to find, and it will guide you. You know? All right. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. And keep watching on this channel. If you haven't subscribed and this is your first time here, definitely subscribe. My name is Darienne. I am an artist. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm a writer. I'm an expresser. I'm an inspirer. I am a teacher. I am a divine soul. I am a woman. I am Darienne. I'm lots of many magical things. And so are you. So if you want to be magic with me, you should subscribe. And just see where the magic takes us. Alright, guys. Bye.
Walking through the eye of the storm, dreaming, whisk me away from